We have some major breaking news as it has just been announced that Juan Pablo Montoya will make his official return to NASCAR. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has just been announced that Juan Pablo Montoya will officially make his return to NASCAR. It was announced this morning that Juan Pablo Montoya is going to drive the number 50 car for 23XI Racing later this year at Watkins Glen with Mobil 1 as the sponsor. Last night, 23XI Racing had been teasing a potential new driver who was going to be getting behind the wheel of the number 50 car. We saw Kamui Kobayashi drive the 50 car earlier this year at Circuit Americas where he had good pace and speed, but unfortunately got taken out multiple times by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then later this year, we saw Corey Heim drive the 50 car at Nashville, was contending for top 10 in the middle portion of the race, unfortunately faded back just a little bit, but was still able to have a really solid and strong run until unfortunately crashed out at the end of the event. And then last night, 23XI Racing had been teasing a potential driver to get behind the wheel, and everyone was like thinking, this is probably going to be Juan Pablo Montoya. The last time Juan Montoya raced in NASCAR was all the way back in 2014, I believe either at Watkins Glen or Indianapolis Motor Speedway when he drove part-time for Team Penske when he went back to running full-time in the IndyCar Series starting in 2014. I have been wanting Juan Pablo Montoya to come back to NASCAR for a very, very long time because I've been saying if you gave him a chance and opportunity to drive for a really great team in the next-gen era, I think he could be very, very competitive. And I look at the track we're going to Watkins Glen. Juan Montoya was always good at Watkins Glen. You go back 2007, where he had a really good chance to win that race, is running top 5 in the M4, unfortunately getting taken out by Jeff Burton and Kevin Harvick in that race. 2008, got top 5 in that event. And then, of course, in 2010, he went on to win at Watkins Glen and basically battled Marcus Ambrose most of the day, but was able to get the victory over Marcus Ambrose and Kurt Busch at the end of the day. But you look at the team he's going to, 23XI Racing. 23XI Racing is one of the fastest organizations in the NASCAR Cup Series currently at the moment. And he's going to have a lot of good resources from Toyota. And another reason why I think this is also happening too, by the way, is because of the connection with Mobil 1. Juan Montoya drove for McLaren, which when they were sponsored Mobil 1 back in the day. And Juan Montoya, when you look at his collective stats, he is one of all around the best drivers in the world. He has won IndyCar championships, 2 of those to be exact. He's won the Indy 500 twice. He's competed at Le Mans, had a chance to win the overall race over there. He has won the Rolex 24 like 3 or 4 times. He has won a ton of Formula races, like 8 or 9 F1 races driving for McLaren. He's also won multiple NASCAR Cup Series races, and he's just accomplished a lot in the sport. And all around is one of the greatest race car drivers and one of the most talented race car drivers I think we have ever seen. And I think realistically, he is going to have a really great chance and opportunity to come back and not only do very, very well, despite the fact he hasn't been in the Cup Series in 10 years, but I think he will have a really great chance and a strong opportunity to go out there and maybe be an outside contender for the victory. 23XI's had really good speed on road courses. We've seen what Tyler Reddick has been able to accomplish on road courses over the last couple years. Got that win, of course, last year at Circuit Americas and could have won the Chicago Street Course early in the year. And you look at Bubba Wallace too, right? Bubba Wallace is someone who absolutely has gotten a lot better at road courses over the last year. So I go back to how well he ran at Watkins Glen last year, how well he was running at Chicago early this year. Having a driver like Juan Montoya be able to coach him a little bit as well, I think is going to be very, very fun to see. And I think you look at this move overall, I think for Toyota, this is absolutely huge. I think Juan Montoya is going to have a good chance. Now, he's going to be competing against a lot of really good talent in that race. Drivers like Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, William Byron, who won the last time we were there, Michael McDowell. You look at other drivers like Denny Hamlin and other drivers in the series, and even Shane Van Gisbergen, who I think is one of the favorites. I could see Shane Van Gisbergen and Juan Montoya going toe-to-toe and going and digging in for the victory. I think both guys are really going to have that chance and opportunity to be up front at the end of the race. But I think it's just so cool to see that Juan Pablo Montoya is coming back. We have seen a lot of drivers over the last couple of years come back in the next-gen era. Drivers like Gray Biffle have come back in recent years. He hasn't raced in a couple years, but he's come back. We've seen Jimmy Johnson come back and run some races in the next-gen era. And there's been other drivers who've been teasing returns, so they're not probably going to come back, like Carl Edwards, who's probably not going to be coming back at this point, or Kurt Busch, who unfortunately retired. He's teasing earlier in the year, but he's probably not coming back at this point, unfortunately. But we have seen a lot of people come back and try the next-gen car and want to come back and race and be successful. We've seen Ryan Newman come back in recent years as well. And I think it's just because a lot of people really want to try out this next-gen car. I really think that Juan Montoya is going to have a very strong chance and a really good opportunity to go out there and compete. He is one of the best race car drivers in the world. He's going to be very, very competitive. He's going to be an absolute really big beast and contender. And I truly think that Juan Montoya is going to have a very strong chance and a fantastic opportunity to go out there and compete. Again, I expect it to be very, very strong at Watkins Glen. I think he's going to have a good chance and opportunity. Again, he won't have a lot of practice to get up to speed because they're going to be doing the short practice sessions. We run there in September, and there's also that playoff battle going on because remember, Watkins Glen is in fact going to be in the playoffs this year. But I think Juan Montoya has to be circled as one of the favorites potentially to go out there and win. Again, I know it's been 10 years, but I look at what Juan Montoya accomplished when he raced in the Cup Series. I know it wasn't a massive amount of stuff, but he was one of the few drivers from F1 that came over, really the only driver from F1 that I've seen that's come over in recent years and be successful. I go back to 2009. We had a chance to go out there and win the championship. He could have won that race easily and won multiple races that year. You go back to Brickyard 400 where he sped, but he had other races throughout that 2009 year, like New Hampshire, where he was super, super competitive. And unfortunately, everything kind of unraveled at the end of that year. And then it kind of never was the same. But so Juan Montoya was a driver who had a lot of potential to win a lot of Cup Series races. He could have won a few ovals in his career. And I think it's just so cool and just amazing to see that a driver like Juan Montoya is going to get this chance and opportunity. I'm really happy for Juan Montoya that he gets to race in the sport again. It's been a very long time since he has raced in NASCAR, and I'm just so glad because I've been wanting this for a long time. He's one of the best drivers in the world. He's one of the most successful drivers in the world, and to see that Juan Pablo Montoya is going to get the chance and opportunity to race in NASCAR once again is phenomenal, amazing, and absolutely incredible, and I really hope he can do well at Watkins Glen. I think he does have a really great chance and opportunity to win. I think he's going to be very, very competitive, and I think Juan Montoya will be up front contending for the win and the victory. Potentially, yes, the field is super competitive, do not get me wrong, but at the same token, same time, I think I'll have a good chance and opportunity to win at Watkins Glen later this year. So, that is going to be it for today's special breaking news report on Juan Pablo Montoya. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Link description below. That and combo your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your expectations for Juan Montoya and his NASCAR return? Do you think he's going to be very, very competitive in his return, or do you think he's going to struggle? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Not exactly sure what's going to be coming out throughout the rest of the week, and I'm probably going to be doing drivers who I think will make the playoffs for this year. I'll likely have my updated 2025 silly season predictions, August edition. Monday, I'm not exactly sure what is going to be coming, but I got a lot of great content dropping. There is going to be an intros video for Richmond since we're coming back there. We got truck race picks for Richmond coming back because remember, next week we're back. Really excited for NASCAR to make its official return. So anyways, like I said, we'll probably talk about Haley Deegan as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.